Wow. Oh, there we go. There she is. Now, just for clarity's sake, and so people know that we ain't breaking the law, you're not driving while we're talking on this video.
No, I'm parked.
If you were driving and talking, then I would blame it on your daddy, because I blame everything on your daddy.
Of course. Yes, you should.
You know, I've known your daddy since before he knew you.
Really?
Yes. He was the student activities coordinator at Middle Georgia College, Dublin campus when I was in college 21 years ago.
Oh.
Yep. I knew Nick Collins when he had more hair and was skinnier, and but he still acted the same. Maybe not quite as grumpy, but he still acted pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Micaiah, tell me, for you this year, I'm sure it's been a special year in a variety of ways. What's been the thing that stood out for you most about this year that's made it special for you?
It would have to be going to the state championship, because it would technically be my second time. My first time being, I was just a baby. But this time I actually got to experience it and just actually see it for myself.
And talk about, I want to hear from you, because, you know, I obviously have because I was at both games too, in different capacities, but that whole day, that wet, dreary, cold day, what was that whole experience like for you?
I mean, thankfully I'm in the band, so we were up under a canopy, so, you know, our instruments wouldn't get wet and whatnot. But, you know, I didn't care about the weather at the moment. I was just excited that I get to see the team that we all represent play in this big stadium and win.
And you've got the added incentive of having a family member directly involved through the coaching staff. What was that like for you to see your dad be able to realize this pinnacle again?
I was so proud of him. He works hard every day. He's always doing something with the players, and I just felt so proud of him. I felt proud for the players and all the other coaches. It was just a proud moment for me, and I can say for my my niece and my stepmom and everybody else.
Yeah, I am so proud of not just that team, but also what that team reflected back onto all of y'all as seniors to show the product of hard work. Like, when you put in that time, you can reap a reward that's much greater than anything you could have realized on your own. You know, to see that team come together as a group and play so hard together. You know, I think back to the Brooks County game during the regular season. You know, you guys traveled basically 3.5, 4 hours south, and the team was down significantly. And then to come back and win by such a large margin spoke volumes to me about the character of not just the football team, but of all of y'all. Talk about that. Talk about the character of the class of 2020.
The class of 2020, we are a very hardworking class. You know, you can't tell us we can't do something, because we will prove you wrong. Like, it don't matter if it's sports, arts, music, even academics. If you say we can't do it, we're gonna prove you wrong.
And when you talk about proving people wrong, I think one thing that's right about you in particular is you've got your daddy's work ethic inside of you. And how have you applied that work ethic through high school, and how do you plan to apply that work ethic when you go beyond high school?
High school, like I said, if you say I couldn't do something, I was gonna prove you wrong. I was gonna show you I could do it and some more. And to go beyond high school, it's like, now, not only do I want to show you that I can do it, I want to show you that other people can do it. That anybody really can do anything if they put their mind to it.
And that to me is one of the key notes that you hit just there, because I think back to my time in high school, and that's my little diploma right there over my shoulder, if you can see it. my Dublin High School diploma from way back. I'm surprised that it even exists. It's like those Dead Sea Scrolls that they found about the Bible. You figure it'd be all crumbly and falling apart. But I was the first person ever in my family on either side to graduate from college, and I didn't have the luxury of a sibling above me who'd attended college or any family that could really prepare me for that experience. But I was like you in that if you told me I couldn't do it or it wasn't available to me, well, I'm just going to show you how I am going to do it, and I'm going to do it with quality. I'm not just going to go to college. I'm going to be an honor student. I'm going to have that. I can't remember which one it is. There's summa cum laude, and I was with highest honors. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, but what I'm saying is y'all have that same quality about you. It's like, no, I'm not just going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do it with excellence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, talk about when you go off to that next level. What are your plans beyond high school?
My plans, I do plan to attend either Savannah State University or Kennesaw State University, and I want to major in gaming design and development, meaning I will make video games for everybody. And
wow.
And I love to draw, and I love making art and everything, and so I want to apply what I was given and give it back to everybody else.
That's awesome. You're the first person I've come in contact with that said, "Hey, I want to make video games," and you're hitting it at just the right time. I mean, you've seen how gaming is just exploding and turning, especially under our current circumstances. You're seeing how gaming is becoming more and more a mainstream activity that people not only participate in, but also want to watch others participate in it. Do you have, I know some people, they get involved in the sports games. Some people want to get into the fantasy games. Like, from an artist standpoint, do you care what you draw? You just want to draw, or is there particular areas that you'd like to lean in?
As an artist, I don't have a limit. It doesn't matter if I have to draw an animal or a fantasy creature or even a robot. If you want me to draw it, I will draw it.
That's awesome. Now, talk about how you were able to grow that artist inside of you. What at Dublin allowed you to grow as an artist?
My ninth grade year, I was a part of an art class that, I enjoyed, and then, in all honesty, joining prom committee for both my junior and my senior year, and to really bring it to life, bring everything that we wanted to life. It helps with the mind, really, and then the skill, it comes automatically.
That's awesome. So now I've talked to people who are going to be nurses, military nurses, video game designers. I'm trying to think what else we've talked about. It's been a variety of different career paths. And I get excited about that because, when I was growing up, you had so many people that wanted to be doctors and so many people that wanted to be lawyers. Cause that's like an easy go-to. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be either one of those things. And like you, from a creative standpoint, I wasn't necessarily an artist from a drawing perspective or painting, but I knew that creativity needed to come out. And thankfully, God's blessed me, and I'm getting to do what I do right now. And, like that's a picture that I made for Coach Holmes, using a bunch of the photos and turned it into something that looked like a portrait. And, that stuff is what I enjoy. I love working on videos and photography. And so to you, I'm so excited because here you are, you're going to get that kind of opportunities, Lord willing, to be doing these unique things that nobody else is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your go-to snack this year? What's been that one thing when you're hungry and it's not mealtime that you want to jump on?
Oh my God. Honestly, carrot sticks. I love baby carrot sticks. They say it's good for your eyes. I just love to snack on anything vegetable like.
I ate a ton of carrots growing up. My granddad had a garden, and I teased my wife because her eyesight's not that good. And when I start reading stuff on the wall that's from a distance, she's like, "Shut up! I don't want to talk to you. Be quiet." And then like when we watch TV at night, she's like, "You can really read that on the bottom on ESPN?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I hate you." Um, and because I teased her, I said, "Well, I ate all them carrots when I was growing up. That's why." But you don't realize how much that answer reminds me of your daddy too. And I know you get tired of that, people telling you that you act or talk or look like your daddy, but
I grew up with it.
but I'm telling you, it's a good thing because he's a wonderful person. I love him to death, and it makes me so proud for him and you to see you grow into the woman that you've become. And I can't wait to see what you have waiting for you on the other side of high school. Now, before we leave, the last question I've been asking most everybody, it's been confusing and befuddling some, but what is your senior quote?
My senior quote is from Andre 3000, the rapper. That is, if you want to get far, you gotta let go of the stuff that's holding you back.
I'm glad, I'm familiar with said Andre 3000. I had several Outkast albums as a younger person. When you get older and start having kids, you got to put some of that music to the side just for the sake of the kids. I had to all my Outkast albums and I had heavy metal albums. I had to kind of like put that over to the side. But people don't realize that him and Big Boy, that they are some of the most creative people you're ever going to come across.
For sure.
And so that makes me excited. Again, your creativity is coming out in that way in your quote. But Michaela, I want to tell you how much I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. And please don't be a stranger. I know opportunities are going to present themselves. They don't make video games in Dublin, Georgia. So more than likely you're going to be in California or New York or something like that. But please don't be a stranger, because I'd love nothing more than to see you come back as a giant success working for like EA Sports or something like that, and being able to share with all these young people your experiences so that maybe you're encouraging the next Micaiah to come along.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Micaiah, for joining us, and wish you continued success. And I can't wait to see you sooner rather than later.
Well, thank you for having me, and I wish the best for you.
Thank you, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.